Good morning, Magic players. Welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic. Get your questions fired up, and let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do deck list review, so if you're the type of person want to send us a wacky deck list, you want to send us a competitive deck list, try to win your next F&M, you can do that here. We'll give it a review. Both myself and the community will give you that feedback. So brew up your cups of coffee. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for May 18th? 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning. And my God, it's starting to get hot here. So I don't know where the hell everyone else is from in this world, but I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba. And it's time to turn on the air conditioning. They're probably in the next month. I am right next to the air conditioner. Like, it's, you know, a person's length away. Might get a little noisier on Coffee and MTG, but hopefully the music, you know, I don't know, drowns it out. Good morning, everyone. A Junk Saint already 2 cups in. I don't know where you are, but you love your coffee. Stefano, good morning from Croatia. Good morning, Thomas, Papa Joe, Direwolf, MTG, Scrub in Scrubs. Natty Pierre, Scott Helgert, good morning. Walter, good morning. Walton Volsch? Walton Vosh? Or it would be like Velton Vash if I was pronouncing it. I'm either pronouncing that close or not at all. Yellow Chair, good morning. Squid Guy, Steve, Louise, Pan Fried, Liam, DCanadianBacon, Steven, DVD, Niels Nielsen, one of the OGs from Coffee and MTG. I remember Niels Nielsen from the beginning. Savage and Wet Willie. Good morning, everyone. All right, so you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all your comments. Otherwise, I got to read everything. I don't want to do that. I can't. I don't read everything, people. DCanadianBacon knows how to do this. Good morning. What do my historic fan friends think of allowing Lightning Bolt to be legal in the format? I was surprised they banned things like Counterspell. Like what? Where's the Strixhaven? The Strixhaven Mystical Archive. Let's look up the ban list for historic. Like they included the Strixhaven Mystical Archives for some dumb reason. Where's that ban list? All right, let's look at the ban list here. Oh, you can't see it very well. Ban list, Agent of Treachery, which was an absolute mistake. Why? Like, and by mistake, I mean, why is this on the ban list? It died for Winota's sins. It died for Winota's sins. It was so. This was a clear sign when Wizards didn't play the format at all, and they banned a card that was overperforming in Standard, and then they banned it in Historic. And it didn't even change anything. It didn't do anything. It was hilarious. Like Winota, I played at that time. Winota is just turn 3, turn 4ing you all over the place. The games are terrible. And like, Wizards, please do something. Do something, Wizards. You know what they did? We're going to ban Agent of Treachery. That's what we're going to do. We're going to ban Agent of Treachery. And I'm like, what? Wait, this is not the banning we were looking for. Anyway, 7 mana, 2/3 that gains control of target permanent. Okay, that still looks a little weird in my opinion. So card like a Counterspell, I don't know if this should be banned. Lightning Bolt, that's very interesting. So what is everyone's opinion on Lightning Bolt? Does anyone have any opinions? I think it would be, it might be a little too much. I mean, they're probably trying to make sure that the aggro decks are not getting out of control. Green, you know, the Gruul aggro deck is still pretty good. Giving them Lightning Bolt isn't going to make things easier for everyone else. It's just going to make things harder. So maybe they're not ready to give Lightning Bolt, but I mean, overall, one day they just got to throw this in there. It is appropriate that they don't legalize Dark Ritual. That is a horrible, horrible, horrible mistake. With Swords to Plowshares? That I think is fine. I mean, I think that should be in the format. Easy. That's an easy include. This is more of an answer. You can't play this proactively like you do with Lightning Bolt. So Bolt in every format is too much. Well, if Historic keeps getting larger and larger and larger and larger, as we know it's going to do, I mean, some of these cards on this list are just going to look really silly. So I think Lightning Bolt, Swords to Plowshares, Their time will come. Their time will come. It'll come off the ban list. It's just not now. Yeah, Winota, you... I mean, you're definitely the card that should be banned. Like, so what's up with this Agent of Treachery? This is hilarious. Interesting. Anyway, if you want a whole overall answer from me, I think you could unban Lightning Bolt, but you don't need to. You don't need to. It'd be a little aggressive right now, but one day it probably will get unbanned. All right, what do we got? Steven asks, chances of Chainlight in Modern Horizons 2. Pretty okay. It was on that spoiler list that we looked at, and that list might look dubious, but it included Shardless Agent, which we know, which might be in the set because it was on the list of Prid 3. Like Prid 3 predicted Counterspell, Sanctum Prelate, Solitary Confinement, and Shardless Agent. Now, 2 of those came true, especially the Counterspell one. That was hard to see. Not everyone named Counterspell, only Prid 3 did. So if Prid 3 says Counterspell's in the set, then that means Shardless Agent's probably in the set. And Shardless Agent was on that list, that other spoiled list, right? I don't even know where that came from. I mean, I just grabbed that from some random person on Twitter. But anyway, so it's a possibility. Strong possibility. Do you like Commander, or are you strictly a competitive player? I play it occasionally. I don't mind. I have a Commander deck. I'm not going to sell it this time. I had a Commander deck since like 2010-ish, 2009, 2010. And after somewhere around like 2017, 2018, I'm like, I don't know anyone playing Commander. Okay, I'm going to sell all the cards. They all went up in price. And then COVID happens and my friends are like, hey, let's play Commander. I've known you guys for years. You didn't want to play Commander. Now you want to play Commander. So I have to rebuy the damn Commander cards, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm never selling that. I mean, I don't mind selling cards if I don't think I'm going to use them, but it looks like I just can't sell Commander. Commander's here to stay. But I am basically strictly a competitive player. Niels Nielsen, do you think Historic is more powerful than Pioneer? I can't answer that because I haven't played Pioneer. I have some idea of the power level of Historic. I'm going to guess... Historic is more powerful than Pioneer. I think Pioneer is still overall pretty slow. I mean, last time I played, Historic has, it's got some like really aggressive combos. But I don't have a good opinion about this, to be honest. Let me know what you think. I'll scroll. Well, let me know. What do you think is more powerful, Historic or Pioneer, for the people who play both of them? Let's get a vote out here. I wish I could do polls. Polls would be great. Best basic lands, old arts or unsets. I mean, I think I like the unstable lands quite a bit. What are lands? Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. It's hard to look up. It's hard to look up lands. Like I look up island here. Here's a snow-covered one. No, I want just basic island, and then it like gives you a million prints. It's hard to. Ooh, where did this come from? Is this a legal land, or is this just art? Zendikar Rising art series. This should be a legal land. Although, some of them will be difficult to tell. See, I like this. I really like this unstable island. I really like the swamp for it, too. I like the swamp. Unstable. Unstable has a great swamp. No. There it is. I like this one. I like the colors. It's not all black. You see some blues, you see purples, you see reds, oranges. Like I like it when they like deviate with some other colors in the art. It gives it some life. If it's all one color, it really sucks. And John Avon is all about that one color stuff. So I don't like his forest, for example, from this thing. I like snow basic plains. So I guess it's called snow-covered plains. I like the snow-covered plains. Again, similar aspect of like, there's a lot. It's hard to make the plains good. I think if I were to rank lands, plains would be at the bottom of like best arts in general. Like it's so hard to make an interesting looking plains. They're all garbage. But this one, again, you get some blues and grays over here and you move up to some warm oranges and yellows. You get a little bit of purple at the top. So anyway, I hope that sort of answers the question. Urza's Saga will put Affinity back on the map. Maybe. It is 3 turn. It's like turn 4 you get something. So if they can find something good to find, the problem is what can they find for 1 mana that would make a really big difference? They can't find cranial plating or anything like that. And they can, sure, they can find something like, I don't know, Signal Pest, but you can't attack with it that turn, right? So that's the problem. You need to be able to dig for something that probably can help contribute to attacking on the same turn. Where's your boy by Foglian? Jets are gonna need him against McDavid. I don't watch hockey, to be honest. I know. I'm that one person in the entire city. I'm not a hockey person. Don't even follow the Jets. I heard we almost won once. The sad thing about Winnipeg, we don't have a lot of winners. We're very good at losing. I think we should be called Lose-a-Peg. What a disgrace to the name. Anyway, Jets might help win us something one day. Sedgemoor Witch versus Skyclave Apparition in Orzhov Stoneblade. Easy Skyclave Apparition. That is an answer to anything on the board. Sedgemoor Witch is like just sort of a dirtly creature, right? This is not even this. I can see why you might want this card. Okay, it's closer than I thought, because you do have the Magecraft aspect of this. But your mana is probably going to get taxed anyway. But it's closer. It's closer than I thought. If you're heavier on spells, maybe you want Sedgemoor Witch. I think I still have the Apparition though. Okay, was there any good takes on historic much faster? All right, that's I think the only opinion we had. Gabriel Mercier with the super chat. What do you think of strict proctor in modern? It's close to playable, but maybe still not there. So it's a 1/3 creature flying. Okay, well the 1/3 hurts. Like it doesn't have a good clock. Whenever a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger, counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. So if you like, the only reason you want this card in your deck is to fight against Amulet Titan. But the problem is that they'll just pay the 2 the next turn. So my experience with Unsettled Mariner, and it's not good enough. So my experience with Unsettled Mariner is it does counter the Valakut triggers. Primeval Titan enters the battlefield. They're tapped out. They get the Valakut triggers. Everything is countered. Great. But the problem is I can't win next turn. And so that's the same thing with Strict Proctor. They'll attack with tons of mana. They'll just pay the cost and you'll lose everything. So I think it's still ineffective. It needs to just outright counter, I don't know, lands or something. That's the problem with Strict Proctor. Because otherwise there are other better cards that strictly, like, you know, Hushbringer. Hushbringer's better. Although, less toughness. Flying lifelink, creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. This is strictly better than Proctor. The only advantage with Proctor is you can counter lands that trigger upon entering the battlefield. But the thing is, with Amulet, they just got so many lands. Like, they'll just pay for it next turn. No big deal. I got wiped out with Unsettled Mariner on the board many times. Okay, we'll get back to them questions. Papa Joe, how do you study chess games? I tried watching videos and whatnot, but they don't seem to stick as much. It is better if you're playing out the moves yourself while you're watching. So ideally, you learn from a book. You can do it slowly, and then move for move, try to understand the position for a few seconds, what you think should happen, and then after that, read what the book says, and then you'll get it's almost like you're playing the game at the same time. You need to sort of feel like you're getting into that mode, because there is a point where if you just watch the video, maybe that's all you need to know, like to learn the concepts. But it's hard to internalize it unless you're physically moving the pieces yourself, either through a digital board or a regular board. So I understand what you mean. Just looking at the game doesn't mean anything. You gotta, like, the only way you internalize it in yourself is if you are moving the pieces yourself. So anyway, that's a good answer. Good question. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a chess master, so I am a washed-up chess master. Geo, today Mara will release the clues for Modern Horizons 2. What do you expect? I expect them named creature types, mechanics, some other crap like that. That's, you know, useless stuff. Maybe another, you know, he's probably going to reveal that there's going to be a mythic that is like a planeswalker that acts like an insect in all other zones. Like he'll probably like just confirm some rumors that have already been released. Have you seen all the Ponza results recently? I have. There have been a lot of Ponza results. Very underrated deck. It's still very underrated. It's so I got it right here. Like you can't see it right now, but I got the top 10 decks to beat in this on this pad of paper. Gonna release it by tomorrow. Ponza is not gonna make the list because it's still not popular enough, but it's very underrated in my opinion. Any thoughts on that was an incomplete sentence. Josie asked, or sorry, maybe is it Joe? Maybe it's, I think I've been pronouncing your name Josie the entire time when it's Jose. Did you see the merfolk looking creature on the cover of the Modern Horizons 2 booster packs? I have. It's very... You know what? At this point, I'm just not excited by anything because I know we just get crap over and over again. We get nothing from merfolk, so I'm assuming that this isn't going to be that great. It's like, you know what? They've given merfolk so many cards. I'm not going to, like, Thieving Skydiver, great card, but not really useful. You know, stealing artifacts, not exactly what I need right now. So they've printed so many good merfolk, but none that I can use in the merfolk deck. So Modern Horizons 2 boosters. We get some image of that delicious merfolk. I can't find it all of a sudden on Google. Can't see it. I know what you're talking about though. There was an image of a booster with merfolk on it. I just don't see it right now. Google not showing me. What do you think about Bloodthirst, Aerialist, and Modern Vampires? I've never heard of the cards, so it's not sounding good for this card. It's 3 mana. 3 mana flying. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Bloodthirsty Aerialist. This is awful. It's hard to trigger. It's not a very impressive creature for 3 mana. I mean, for 3 mana, you might as well play Nighthawk Scavenger. Way easier to buff up. You can get really big. I mean, maybe the toughness doesn't necessarily get that big, but this is just like there's just too many better things to do at 3 mana. At 3 mana, I'm not in love with this Bloodthirsty Aerialist. It's just 3 mana for a 2/3 creature, and then you got to put it it's hard to gain life. I think it's hard to gain life. I don't know. Maybe I could be proven wrong if you can prove the synergy, but it doesn't look good on paper. It doesn't look good enough, I should say. Spartan says, I sold my collection once because I thought I was never going to play MTG again. Big mistake. That was the biggest mistake in my life. I wouldn't say everyone's made that mistake. I did not sell my cards. I'm a person that I'm like, you know what? If this was a big part of my life, I don't want to let it go. I don't want to let it go. Maybe one of the more not really a big upsetting thing, but I wish I still had all my old Nintendo consoles, like the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the N64. But basically, my parents took them from me and like handed it down to other family members that needed it more. So as I got new systems, they basically got rid of my old systems. So that was unfortunate. But like, yeah, with my Magic collection, I had a big break for like 7 years or something, like 8 years. I had an 8-year break from Magic and kept the cards. Why? Because they're my cards. That's just the thing. Marissa asked, Cleansing Wildfire or Alpine Moon, which one to use? Alpine Moon feels better because proactive and costs less, but I feel too alone in this stance for me to be right. Alpine Moon is fine, but the thing that makes Cleansing Wildfire better It is. I mean, it depends on the deck. If you have like say a prowess deck, you might be more interested in Alpine Moon because it's cheaper, right? It's just 1 mana. But for a control deck, they don't like this card because it's card disadvantage. Like, you put it on the battlefield, you don't draw a card out of it. Like, whatever, no big deal. But whereas with Cleansing Wildfire, a lot of decks that care about card advantage and not tempo, they want Cleansing Wildfire because you at least draw a card out of it. Not to mention, you can, in theory, destroy your own lands to find a certain mana source if you really need to. Also, like, it kills creature lands, so it has... It's an overall useful card, whereas Alpine Moon, you can only name... I mean, I guess it's a very similar. You can only name 1 card. This is... You name 1 card. But anyway, it's the card draw. That's the difference. So you'll find more control decks, more Jund-like decks play Cleansing Wildfire. You might see more Prowess decks, sometimes more Burn decks play Alpine Moon. Because they don't need the cards. They just need some mana-efficient answers. They don't get wiped out by something. Dan Turner. The other day I meant, what do you think about the unique options for Mardu/Jund midrange, i.e. Lingering Souls Fracture, Stoneforge Mystic, versus Ren and 6 Goyf, Bloodbraid Elf, and which 3 color is better at the moment? Appears to be Jund. Jund is better at the moment. Not to say that Mardu can't be better, it's just less popular. I don't know the value of Lingering Souls. Like, maybe it's good. Like, they're 1 toughness creatures, but they're many, so maybe it uses up a lot more resources, but it's clunky. It's like such a clunky card. Fracture is good, but I don't know if Fracture... Actually, no, Fracture is not what I think it is. Keep confused, you know. It came up with a bunch of new cards. Like, this is... Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker. For the most part, like Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy will do the same thing, so you don't get any advantage here. The advantage would be... I want to say Languish. It's not. I can't remember the exile mono color permanent spell. But the proof is in the results. Jund just does better. That's all. Jund just does better. Ren and 6. Like, I guess the clock on a Jund deck is just better. Goyf is just stronger. Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid Elf is whatever. I'm not a fan of Bloodbraid Elf all that much. Ren and 6, I guess, is card advantage enough. Whereas Stoneforge Mystic is a lot better when there isn't a whole lot of removal in the format. In my opinion, I think there's enough. Like, we don't see Stoneblade right now, right? Because of the removal. There's so many decks playing removal. You got, like, the Is It Prowess deck playing removal. You've got all these Skyclave Apparition decks playing removal, like Healed Company, and they've Path to Exile. You got, we now have multiple Bring to Light decks. Both Niv Mizzet is just removal deck, and also the Scapeshift deck is playing a combination of Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile. So there's just so much removal that you can't get like a really good edge with Stoneforge Mystic. And one of the reasons you would go that direction with white is to take advantage of Stoneforge Mystic. I just don't think like you can take great advantage of it right now in a mid-range like shell. Not well positioned. Cuss asks, what is your opinion on the position of blue-black control in the meta right now? It's okay. It's okay. It's probably better. It's probably better that you go Esper, but it's okay. The problem with blue-black control, I think, is just the win condition. They don't have as good a win condition as Esper does. But it's fine. Blue-black control is probably fine. Most important thing is interacting low on the board and also having counter spells for the decks that are going big, like Niv to Light, the Bring to Light Scapeshift deck, and I think you'll be fine. Sedgemoor Witch is seeing tons of play in Legacy, and then there's a Mardu version in Modern. I'm not familiar with the Mardu version in Modern. Yeah, I haven't seen it pop up. But maybe I just missed it. If it's seeing play in Legacy, that's pretty impressive. Does Containment Priest exile man lands? Nope. Or hold on. No, no. Hold on. Let me look at it. Pretty sure no. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. I'm assuming the creature land you're talking about comes into play as a land. Like if it came from the graveyard or something, you just put into play from the graveyard, then it would be... It's just a land. It's just a land. It has to already be a creature for it to get exiled. Amado, any recommendation for control hate cards running a mono green stompy deck for modern? Yes. All right, everyone. What's all our green cards that control players hate? First one, Veil of Summer. I hate this card. Single green, counter their counterspell, easy to use. A mono green stompy deck. You could play Ether Vial. I don't know if that's. I don't know what your deck looks like, but a stompy deck could run this card. And this also gets around counterspells and lets you play your spells at end of turn. Because when you play your spells at end of turn, that helps you play around sweepers, gets them in play uncounterable. Shaper Sanctuary, great idea. If it's a control deck with a lot of spot removal, they're basically going to let you draw a card every single time they kill a creature. This is a very strong card. Oh, ho, ho! The heavy hitters coming out now. So most control decks are blue, right? They play islands. Choke basically says it's a back to basics for green. Islands don't untap during their controller's untap step. So it's basically back to basics for islands. And the islands are tapped. So that's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah, Cavernous Souls if you play a lot of the same creature type. But I doubt the Stompy deck is like that. Maybe it is. So, land, you name a creature type and it makes those creatures uncounterable. But it only works if you're heavy on one creature type. So if your Stompy deck is heavy on elves, maybe this is possible. Probably unlikely, though. What else? Blossoming Defense? It's Veil of Summer. Basically takes that spot. I think we nailed the big ones, people. I think we nailed the big ones. It's a good one mentioning the choke. Oh, Collected Company is pretty good, actually. Yeah, that's a good one to name. We got Collected Company here. So it probably works in your stomp. You might already have it in your Stompy deck, though. You know, cast at end of turn, get around counter magic, or you know, if they tap out, you in response play Collected Company, put basically two big creatures in play. Anyway, those are good answers. Hope that answered your question. Oh. Squid Guy, do you think Modern Horizons 2 is worth buying and sitting on to sell in the future? Every box is worth doing that. The question is, how long do you want to wait? It's the main thing. Like, I don't think there is a single box of Magic cards that ever went down perpetually. Every single box of Magic cards goes up. It's like, I don't know how to compare it. I don't know what financial instrument to compare it to, but basically it never goes down in the long run. They'll all go up in the long run. The question is, how long do you want to wait for it to go up? So maybe it'll take a while. I don't know, but like, it's up to you. It's up to you. You can do that with any box, though. Yeah, the problem I have with like using boxes of cards as an investment is like, how many boxes you want to sit on? These things are fucking heavy, right? Like boxes of cards are heavy. You got to store them somewhere. That's gonna like not take up too much space. I found like in the long run. I mean, I watched some Rudy from Alpha Investments, and apparently he's paying like thousands of dollars a month to like rent out spaces to hold on to his boxes. So there comes a point in the long, if you want to scale this sort of financial idea, you need to then spend money on rental space, because I mean it's a physical thing, whereas single cards, they like take up almost no space. When it comes to boxes, take up space. But anyway, if you want to do it small scale, just to dick around, I mean, it will work if you want to do that. Not financial advice. I don't know what I have no idea what I'm getting into if I even give the slightest bit of financial advice. I will just say that if you hold on to a Magic box long enough, generally speaking, they all go up. Nikachu MTG gives no guarantees on anything. Is Invisible Stalker playable in mono blue? Mono blue what? You mean just a mono blue deck? I mean, the answer would be no if it's just some random mono blue deck. Now, if you're talking about a Bogles deck, then yes, but not mono blue. I don't think there's a mono blue Bogles deck that you can make. They use it to counter their own triggers. Example, Croxa. Oh, a strict proctor. So now we're going to use this for our own good. Whenever a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger, counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. So this is symmetrical. But you don't need this. Oh, no, you could use this for Lotus Field. But Croxa, you could always use the other one. That's interesting. I think it's a bit jank. It's definitely a janky idea, because if you don't have the strict proctor in your hand, then this deck doesn't work. I mean, you could fill your deck with other stuff, like Hushbringer, to set up your Croxas, but... Well, I don't know. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's a unique deck like that. But it's obviously going to be really weak to removal, because in response to your Crocs entering the battlefield, it'll just shoot your proctor. Oh, with Curious Obsession, still not good enough. Still not good enough. Me Master. Hey, Nikachu, which version of Amulet is better in your opinion? Reclaimer or the mono green with Karn? The mono green with Karn? I don't know any mono green one. Oh, yeah, well, I guess the spells are basically mono green. I think the one with Karn is better. But, you know, like, it can change depending on the meta. I think the Reclaimer one is now sort of... It's just gone. Like, they highly depended on Field of the Dead, and it seems like after that's banned, it's not so good anymore. I haven't seen the deck since. If the meta is a bit slower, is Pox a viable archetype now? It's more viable. I would say it's more viable. And it seems like it would be fine against Prowess as well. It's more viable. I don't know if it's actually viable, though, because a lot of these big mana decks, they'll just keep playing lands. So you need more, like, land destruction. And I don't know what your win condition is. Zachary, are you playing in the Mana Trader Modern series? Got to showcase that Merfolk and taxes. I probably won't, but I might. I mean, I still haven't tried it. I don't know if I've missed the date for qualifying. Honestly, I don't even pay it. Like, I did try to participate in a few Mana Trader series events. The problem is, like, if I don't qualify in the first 10 games, then it might be a real grind to get to the 30, and I just don't have enough time to play that much Magic. Or maybe I should have just... My leagues, like my stream once a week should have been all Mana Traders content. But also, for the last few months, I've never been confident with a Merfolk deck until now. Now I'm pretty confident with this blue-white build. I wasn't confident with prior versions for a very long time. Not been happy with how Merfolk has been performing for me for the 5 months, 5, 6. It's been a while. Since I've been getting some wins under my belt. But now this blue-white... So, like, if I have a bad Merfolk deck, I know I'm just sort of wasting my opportunity in the Mana Trader series when I try to qualify, so I haven't tried for months. Good question, though. I'll get back to it. Back to the Mana Trader series. Thomas Penny, do you agree with the Del Maza 15-minute of chess tactics is the best way to get to 2,000? Yes. Here's the deal. If you want to get good at chess at all, it's all tactics. Like, in the beginning. You should weigh, like, 95% of your studying actually just should be tactics. You're only going to win and lose the game because of your bad calculations. You can learn all the knowledge you want. It's useless. You need to study tactics. When I was starting to play chess, I was studying like 6 hours of tactics a day. I spent so much time. No, maybe it wasn't 6. Maybe it was... I don't know what it was, but at some point, it eventually became 30 minutes to 1 hour a day. But I put a lot of weight on tactics, and I'm a very good tactician. Very, very important. If you want to get better fast, do them more often. If you really like tactics, you can get good at chess very fast. The people who don't like tactics, they don't get as fast so quickly. Voltage asks, is Turn still playable? My friend is thinking of getting back into Modern. The deck sees no play. So take that for what it's worth. That doesn't mean it's unplayable, but maybe the right master is not playing it. Maybe maybe there's been no one adapting it to the meta, but by default, there is like no versions of taking turns that I've seen. It's a non-existent deck as far as I know. Is Hour to play humans? Oh, is it good now to play humans? It's not great maybe it's getting a little bit better. I think that maybe I don't know what their matchup will be versus like Niftalite and Scapeshift. I don't know what their matchup is like. I know Niftalite has just an outrageous amount of removal. That's not good for humans. It's really bad. The problem for humans is like it's got like a worse than 50-50 matchup versus Tron. Same thing with Amulet. It's like sort of okay versus like Eldrazi Tron. I mean, the main deal is it's got a bunch of 50-50 matchups. That's not very good for humans. Like, if you want to have a winning deck, you need to have, like, good matchups. And there's just a lot of 50-50 matchups in the format right now for it. 50-50 or worse. Neil Crabtree, do you think Shardless Sultai will be a deck? If it is indeed in Modern Horizons 2, Cascading into Visions, Goyf, Icefang would be gas, but who knows? Yes. I think... there is no reason to go blue right now in Modern. Like, there was a reason when they had Uro, when they had Oko, but in general, there's no good Simic card that holds the deck together. Like, go Simic. So, I mean, it could end up being Bant, you know, because there's no reason for this to be Sultai. So I would bet more money that it would be a Bant deck. There would have to be a really good reason to go in the Sultai colors, because Bant has access to Stoneforge Mystic, for example. So you could go Shardless Agent, Stoneforge Mystic, get Batterskull. That seems pretty damn good too. But anyway, though, if Shardless Agent is printed, we will see Simic plus some splash of something, or just a Simic deck. Frederick LeMay, Nikachu, I wanted to know if Wirewood Symbiote is reprint with Wirewood plus Mirror Entity plus Archdruid is enough to push elves. Don't need dead draw like Devoted and Vizier. I think that's too much. That's too much of a combo. 3 cards, maybe. We have Wirewood, 1/1 creature, return an elf you control to its owner's hand. Untap target creature, activate this ability only once each turn. What do you need Mirror Entity for? Only turn creatures you control have base power and toughness. Oh, okay. So you want to just buff your whole team? I don't think. If they reprint Wirewood Symbiote, I don't know if this would be the right way to go about it. I think you would be better off with Devoted and Vizier, to be honest, because it's less work, and you can like Coco it into play very easily. Well, I guess you could do the same thing with this, but I don't think Mirror Entity works in elves. Sam asks, what do you think about Portable Hole in Modern? Is it new top removal? Probably not. We'll see play. I don't know which deck wants to see this card. Portable Hole, 1 mana artifact, ETB, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls with mana value 2 or less until Portable Hole leaves the battlefield. Problem is it's an artifact, so we're going to see what the ramifications are of that. There's a lot of decks with, like, if you play this against Prowess, they'll probably bring in a Braid against you anyway, and they'll just destroy it. So it's not like on thin ice where they have no chance of removing that thing. This is very removable. Modern has a lot of artifact hate, so it's very unclear how well it's gonna see play. I don't know if it's going to be the new top removal. I doubt it, but it's possible. We'll see how it shakes out. True Name Nemesis for Modern Horizons 2. I mean, I hope. At this point, I mean, a lot of people might be like, True Name Nemesis, you can't print that into Modern. Oh, please. You look at what's going on in Modern. If I play True Name Nemesis on turn 3, and my opponent plays Primeval Titan on turn 3, who do you think is winning that one? It's not the True Name player. I'll just say that. It's not going to be the person wielding True Name Nemesis. You know, Modern is so wildly powerful that I think this is like this wouldn't even do anything, but it might be politically sensitive to like print this card because everyone, you know, it's like like any other historically busted card. I don't even think True Name Nemesis is even doing much in Legacy right now. Anyway, it's wouldn't do much in Modern. It will see play in Modern. It's not the boogeyman people think. I mean, at this point, I could just cry to Wizards, give us True Name, give me True Name Nemesis, damn it. I mean, it still dies to Plague Engineer, right? Dies to Plague Engineer. Let's look at some of these older. Morrow Post is, oh, did he? Where is it? Let me know. Where do I find it on his blog or something? Mark Rosewater Modern Horizons 2. Well, let's talk about this if you guys got anything interesting to say. Can anyone post in my Discord? Whoops. I don't know where to find this Mark Rosewater thing. Or did he post on Twitter? Well, maybe I'll go to Twitter. Mark Rosewater. Rosewater has like so many followers on Twitter. It's crazy. Here's my teaser. Okay, we got it. We got a teaser. Okay, I found it. Did some detective work here. Okay, we got it. Blogatog, Morrow's Modern Horizons 2 teaser. Before previews for Modern Horizons 2 officially begin, I thought it would be fun to do another of my whoa. Stop moving. I thought it would be fun to do another of my duelist style teasers where I give tiny hints of things to come. Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. Oh no, actually it's not exactly what I thought it was going to happen. Note that I'm only giving you partial information. First up, here are some things you can expect. A legendary character best known for having his name on a powerful card that's been banned finally gets a legendary creature. So a legendary character best known for having his name on a powerful card that's been banned finally gets a... What is this? Umezawa? How many Umezawas are there? I know one of the... There are a few Umezawa cards. I don't know if... Can it really be Umezawa? Maybe Merit Lage. Maybe Merit Lage sounds better to me. Or Mishra. Mishra's not a bad guess. A legendary character best known for having the name is Gitaxian no, Gitaxian is a creature already. Mishra has a card? Maybe Ashnod? Is Gaia? Interesting. Is Mox Opal a character? maybe all this time Mox was a person. It wasn't a pendant or anything. Mox was an actual person the entire time. Mox. All what would I call this person? Mox, mana maker. I don't think Sensei is a character. Yeah, I think Umezawa, or at least someone from the Umezawa family, has a card. Is this a character? But this person's name has never been on a card. Anyway, okay, so that's one of them. A theme on only a handful of cards in Modern Horizons gets a larger presence. A theme on only a handful of cards in Modern Horizons gets a larger presence. The theme might be tribal. They might... A theme on only a handful of Modern Horizons gets a larger presence. Interesting. Oh, you mean the lands? I don't know. I can't tell. Well, I have no idea what this means. A theme on only a handful of cards in Modern Horizons gets a larger presence. Yeah, maybe it might be a tribal thing. A theme on only a handful. Maybe, but you know what? The theme was bigger in Modern Horizons 1. Anyway, we're going to get a frog 26 years in the making. That is useless to us. New split cards. Oh, fuck. Well, the crappy thing about reading about split cards is we know Merfolk can't use them. Us Aethervial players, we can't use split cards very well, but maybe they'll have good ones. A future sight mechanic reused for the first time. Finally. So what the hell exists in future sight that never saw play again? The mechanic never saw play again. Finally, something foreseeing the future is going to happen. Aura swap was a mechanic. Yeah, Mox, the legendary jeweler. That's actually great. I like that. Gravestorm. Oh God. It's Gravestorm time. Finally absorb 1. Sounds like everyone's saying Gravestorm. What the hell is Gravestorm again? Gravestorm is a triggered ability that functions on the stack. Gravestorm means when you cast the spell, copy it for each permanent that was put into graveyard from the battlefield this turn. If the spell has any targets... What the fuck? What a stupid mechanic. There's also Grandeur. I should probably Grandeur MTG. Grandeur is an activated ability that can be activated by discarding a card with the same name as the card the ability appears on. That is weird. By discarding a card with the same name as the card the ability appears on. So you like basically have an extra copy of the card, you discard and you get the ability. That's stupid. That is useless to us. All right, what else we got? A character that first appeared in a magic novel finally becomes a legendary creature. Interesting. I'm not familiar with the novels at all. I don't know anything about the novels. It is, I know nothing. I got nothing here, people. Yawgmoth's will was banned in Vintage. Could be Yawgmoth. Bring back Aura Swap Wizards. What the hell is it? Like, you can just move auras around? Seems pretty useless. Chad the Mad Lad. I don't know any... I don't read the novels. A character that first appeared in a magic novel finally becomes a legendary creature. Merfolk God. The woman who gave Dakin the Blackblade. I can't remember her name. All right, so maybe that's a possibility. A card with the number words 4 and 14. Oh my god, is this like the cousin or father of Ren and 6? A card with the number words 4 and 14. You can tell, you know, Wizards is running out of names for their cards when they start digging into numbers. Running out of words and word combinations for these cards. Oh, let's just start using the numbers. Yeah, Dad and 14. I like that. Stimpy and 14. We have Ren and 6 and Stimpy and 14. Perfect. Ren and 14. Okay. They're digging into the numbers now. Okay. A fan favorite animal character finally becomes a legendary creature. Are there no legendary squirrels? I'm guessing this is a squirrel. This has to be a squirrel. Or a legendary stormcrow? I'm not familiar with any of the crows. Text, creature. This is not it. Card name, text. Oh no, it's here that I want to put creature. Creature, squirrel. Is this where I go legendary? No cards found. What about I'm doing this right? Yeah, legendary works. The other type, what people were asking about crow. Scarecrow? I think there is a legendary scarecrow though. Oh, maybe I'm looking for it wrong. Legendary. Yeah, there's one. There's a Reaper King. But that, so I'm guessing it's going to be Squirrel. I don't think there's a single legendary Squirrel in this game. Come on, search. Ooh, there is a legendary Squirrel. So it's not Squirrel. Yeah, Toski is legendary Squirrel. Yes, we have squirrels, so we got it. Yeah, Toski is legendary. And also there's a BS legendary Squirrel. They made a real one. So we don't know what it is. It's goat? Yeah, there's no goat, actually. Okay, so there's no goat, so maybe it's possible. Goat is pretty popular. Yeah, goat pog. It's going to be the goat. What do we got next? A white enchantment with a trigger that investigates. We've got a white enchantment with a trigger that investigates. Interesting. But is the trigger that investigates? I guess the trigger is investigate when it enters the battlefield. A planeswalker from the past that has previously only had a legendary creature card. A planeswalker from the past that has previously only had a legendary creature card. I'm gonna guess Urza? Are they gonna print Urza now? I mean, I'm guessing this is Urza. Like when I had the sense that they were making Urza, I thought it was gonna be a planeswalker, and it was gonna be the most busted thing ever. Urza heading to a ban list near you. I mean, Urza is like the #1 that, like, oh, you guys think it's Dak and Blackblade? It could be anything. Is Mishra a card? Mishra, Artificer Prodigy. This is Mishra. Whenever you play an artifact spell, you may search your graveyard, hand, enter a library for a card with the same name as that spell and put it into play. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. It's actually pretty OP. This is not what I thought Mishra would look like, though. No, I didn't think this is the guy who controls the Mishra's factory and all that other stuff. You don't look like you can run a factory. You look like you're at a high school. Dakon's on the box, but you could still be a legendary creature. Here are some snippets from rules text that appear in the set. All right. Whenever you cast your 3rd spell each turn. Holy shit. Oh, this is for the Ooze tribal players out there. For each other ooze you control, if an ability of a blank, oh, we're going Mad Lib style now, aren't we? If an ability of a blank or another blank you control triggers, that ability triggers another time. Oh god, that doesn't sound good. That better be a very expensive card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each +1/+1 counter on creatures you control. Interesting. Something that might go in humans. They got lots of counters. You may sacrifice a mountain rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Ah, fuck. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, no! More free spells. That's not good. And it's in red as well. That's exactly what we need. More prowess food. It's probably like a more tame. It's probably like, what's it called? Maybe it's Fire Blast, but for only a shock. So this was sacrifice 2 mountains, deal 4 damage. This is just going to be sacrifice a mountain, deal 2 damage. I think it's just going to be a weaker Fire Blast. It's going to be shock it's going to be upgraded shock, basically. Trample over planeswalkers. What the fuck does that mean? Is that a new keyword? Is that a new mechanic? Trample over planeswalkers? Oh, maybe it is. Okay, so like it has a mechanic. Like if you have a creature with trample over planeswalkers, and you know it's 5 power, and the planeswalker's has only 1 loyalty, it'll deal 4 damage to the player. That actually sounds good. But it's trample over planeswalkers. It's probably not trample over regular creatures. So over regular creatures, nothing. Trample over the planeswalker. Oh, you try to protect your human shield out there with a planeswalker. If an insect card was milled this way. Oh, great. It's the last thing I need to hear. Milled this way. Let's encourage more people to mill stuff. If you deal enough damage to a planeswalker, you deal the rest of the player. That's how I'm reading it. Protection from permanents with corruption counters on them. What the hell? Now that's a sentence where they told us they simultaneously told us too much and too little at the same time. Protection from permanents with corruption counters on them. That sounds narrow as hell. Choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins. One of those cards. Instead, create one of each. Sounds like sort of an overload, like some sort of like overload card. You know, if you pay it for its regular cost, you create one of this. But if you pay its overload cost, instead create one of each. Here are some type lines from the set. Artifact creature, assembly worker. Oh, God. Well, affinity players, you're going to get some food. You've been hungry for years. You're going to get a little something here. You gotta love this, the look of assembly worker. Doesn't get better than that. Creature, dinosaur illusion. I think for all the illusion player, illusion is illusion. A lot of people ask me, hey, are you going to make an illusion deck? What do you think about illusions? Illusion this, illusion that. So illusion players, they're out there. They want some good illusion cards. Oh, they're bringing back Dothy. Dothy's is an old creature type. This is super old. If you just look at these cards, I mean, they're just ridiculously old. Dothy Slayer. Shadow. I learned to play the game through these cards. They taught me how to block, and then they attacked me with a shadow creature. I'm like, well, what the fuck is with that? Because shadow... creatures that can block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow. Maybe they're bringing back shadow. Maybe a few creatures are going to have shadow in this set. And you got to know the rogues are going to like that because rogues want unblockable creatures. So there's probably going to be, for the rogue players, a Dothy shadow creature that you're going to get an unblockable damage. And then after that, you can, like, you know, activate your rogue crap. Put a big thing into play. Skeleton Shaman. Holy fuck. I mean, I just saw it in the corner of my... Forget everything. There is going to be a merfolk god in this set. You better deliver, Wizards. You better deliver. You can't do this to us. You can't do this to us, Wizards. You can't spoil merfolk fucking god and then give us some garbage. Oh, you can't do that. This better be good. Oh, it better be good. You better believe that this is something that Tolarian Community, Brian from Tolarian Community, the professor, would get as a spoiler. So we got Skeleton Shaman, Elemental Incarnation. So a little something for the elemental tribes out there. A clue mirror. What the hell? So is it going to be like a mirror that you can sacrifice as a clue? For anyone who wanted to make Tarmogoyf tribal, maybe that's possible. Tribal artifact Lurgoyf. Tribal artifact Lurgoyf. Interesting. So maybe it's a random artifact that Tarmogoyf decks can use to make their Tarmogoyfs bigger. Because not every deck can use artifacts. But anyway, like, and it's a tribal artifact, so it counts as both. Jund gonna make their Tarmogoyfs even bigger than it was before. Yeah, so Merfolk God. Snake Elf Scout. I swear we already have Snake Elf Scouts. But maybe I'm wrong. And another Squirrel Warrior. What was Toski? Oh, just a squirrel. Finally, here are some of the mechanics of the set. I replaced all the letters with X's. This is useless to us. Oh yeah, thanks for the hot tip here. But that's a lot. Here are some of the mechanics in the set. I replaced all the letters with X's. Interesting. So 4 letters. So what they're saying is there's a million mechanics in the set. They're bringing back a little one of everything. I bet Shadow's here. Shadow. There's a lot of 6s. Shadow going to be in the set, in my opinion. Secure Tribe Scout is a Snake Elf Scout. Nope. Oh, this is Snake Shaman Scouts. Close. Oh, hold on. What was it? Snake Elf. We don't have Snake Elf Scout. None of these are elves. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. It's like a snake and an elf at the same time. That's a bit weird. Longest mechanic is 15 letters. How long is Gravestorm? Gravestorm. 10 letters. So there's a little something here for Gravestorm. Gravestorm possibly on the list. Possibly there. Tune in May 20th to Daily MTG for answers to some of these and more. Oh, so we're going to get a little bit more of a little peek into Modern Horizons 2 before the 24th, where official spoilers are coming out. I have no idea what's 15 letters. Maybe it's a new mechanic. That's pretty good. An ability of a sliver or another sliver you control triggers. That ability triggers an additional time. I don't know if this is a trigger thing. I don't think slivers has a lot of ETBs. What are people saying here? People are saying nothing. They just like it and stuff. Oh god, Annihilator? I would hate to hear that. That'd be bad. Annihilator is not very fun to play against. That was exciting. That is exciting. A little fun for everyone. There's a little something I think everyone can be excited for. I'm very curious to know what the Merfolk God is. At least there's one Merfolk in this set. You know, I mean, in the past, there've been no Merfolk in this set. Maybe I'm hoping for like a Merf. I'm hoping for like a fixed true name Nemesis only for the Merfolk. But anyway, you know what time it is, people? Decklist review time. Of course, it's decklist review time. We're probably only going to go over one decklist today because we went over like a lot of Modern Horizons 2 hype spoilers stuff. We had too much fun doing that. So going to be short decklist review, but decklist review nonetheless. If you want to be entered for today's decklist review, go into my description. Find my Discord. Join my Discord. Go to the channel Decklist Review and submit your deck list with the command !review deck space. Give the URL to your deck list and you will be eligible at random for decklist review. You would think it's hammer time, but it's not. It'll be hammer time when the Modern Horizons 2 comes out. Yeah, watch the Merfolk God to be a 5-drop. That's why I'm like, Wizards, don't do this to us. Don't do it. Don't make this so painful. There's only so many. Give us a card we can use, please. Help the deck. Don't hurt it. Because it most likely can. It'll just be trolling the Merfolk community, constantly trolling us. All right, you know what we also do on this show? We thank sponsors. FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week. Fusion Gaming Online, they got 15% off all Mirage, Visions, and Weatherlight singles. I'm curious, did anyone get the Lion's Eye Diamond? Or is it still sitting there? Oh, still sitting there. It's always nice to get these big discounts on reserve list cards. They don't come up very often. If I ever get reserve list cards, I usually get... There's usually this big sale at the end of the year. You know, their Boxing Day thing. So to get 15% off Mirage singles. It's not just Mirage. Mirage, Visions, and Weatherlight. Great deal. But if 15% off somehow isn't enough, you can get an additional 5% on top of that. 5% and the 15% off. Double discount. Double the fun. At FusionGamingOnline.com. Remember, Canadian store, Canadian prices. US dollars are worth more, though. Damn our Canadian dollars. We're also going to thank Mana Traders. Premier play... Oh, where am I? Mana Traders. Premier place to rent Magic cards online. Thankfully to them, I can playtest all sorts of versions of Merfolk. The best build I have at my hands at any point. I could splash black, white, red, or green. And I think it is the... I'm just curious, how many of you from Decklist Review make use of Mana Traders to, like, invent your decks, playtest your decks, make new stuff? Something that a lot of people don't know, you don't need to pay any money to play on Magic the Gathering Online. Like, a lot of people think you have to play in the leagues. You can play in the tournament practice area for free, for eternity. It's just a matter of getting the cards to play there. So, like, once you... the only thing I think you have to pay on Magic the Gathering Online is like $10 so that you can trade cards, which you need to do to access Mana Traders. But once you're on Magic the Gathering Online, play forever on the tournament practice there. I'm just curious how many people use Mana Traders to use their deck list, like make their deck list review decks come to life and adjust it there as a result. Anyway, you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below. Also, save 15% off your first 2 months using my coupon code Nikachu. Jax uses Mana Traders. Well, I mean, I use Mana Traders too. I just want to know how many deck list review people use it. I'm tired of this Mario Paint thing. I gotta make my own playlist. Where are we gonna start off here? Mario Karts. Boom, 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 boom. Is the merfolk in the booster the god? I hope so. I like that art. I like the art. It's nice stuff. The merfolk god is going to be made for Commander. Oh, that makes too much sense. I'm hoping it's wrong, though. But that makes too much sense. It's going to make all the Commander players happy, and then I'm like, here as a Modern player, this fraction of percentage of the player base. I just want to check in on my cat. Okay, she wanted to come in. I like closed the balcony door because there's like some construction outside, but she wanted to be outside. Sometimes she's out there for hours. I was just paying attention. But anyway, I wasn't paying attention to her. Open the door. She just bolts in. Are you hungry? Oh, she's hungry. She's going straight for the food. She's going straight for the food. Anyway, all right, let's go pick a deck list to look at today. Balada! You lucky son of a bitch. Uh-oh. Or unlucky. Okay, hold on. I think you gave a bad URL. Bucks for Balada. Nope, page not found. Not lucky. Does this make sense? Is this it? Oh, is it? Oh, maybe they corrected your... Oh, I see. Okay, maybe you are unlucky and now you're lucky again because they tapped out, try to fix your problem. I have fur babies. That is correct. Here, I'm going to show you some. I'll show one of my fur babies. I don't want to disturb her. She's eating. And Salute is sleeping. Okay, we got a humans deck, it seems. We have Champion of the Parish. We have, like, millennial humans, really. Champion of the Parish, Elite Spellbinder, Meddling Mage, Noble Hierarch, Phantasmal Image, Reflector Mage, Sanctum Prelate, Thou's Lieutenant, Thalia, Garden of Thraben. So it's really on the prison side with Elite Spellbinder. We don't have Mantis Rider in the air. As a result, we're going Bant, right? So we actually are saving ourselves on some mana Sort of. We have Ancient Stirrings, Cavernous Souls, Horizon Canopy, Island, Plains, Unclaimed Territory. I guess we're still playing the... Do we need to play such a bad mana base? I mean, maybe it's not that bad. It's still painless, right? Well, not painless. I was just always wondering, if we're playing 3 colors or less, maybe we can have more basic lands and some fetches so that we don't get crapped on by Blood Moon. Ooh, does this work? Collected Company. You have 1, 4. You don't have... And you can't play Ancient Ziggurat. Okay, so that's the problem here. I mean, this card is unplayable in this deck. I don't think you have enough green sources, like, not even close. 1, 5, that's... 5. Oh, maybe you do with Noble Hierarch. You get up to 9. It's a little too... And, like, if it's not reliable and they could kill the Noble Hierarch, I think that's a bit dicey. So this is where... Go to 4. Maybe, like, you don't need Ancient Ziggurat, right? Like, there's actually no point to this card. I mean, I understand there's a point to this card. And also, Ancient Ziggurat doesn't... You can't spend mana on this. Yeah, Coco and Ziggurat is super clunky. So what you end up doing is... you can only spend mana to cast creatures. You can't cast Collected Company. I like the idea. So what you're going to have to do is you have to remove the Ancient Ziggurat. You can add an Unclaimed Territory. Add some fetches... Like Flooded Strand and I don't know, like a single breeding pool or something. Not breeding pool. Yeah, Temple Garden. Get a Temple Garden in there. Get some fetch lands and a Temple Garden. And the fetch lands can find your basics when you need them, which will help you. But also the fetch lands can help find the mana necessary to cast your Collected Company. I think you need about 10 sources in your deck. Maybe you could go down to 9 lands, because you do have the Noble Hierarchs that can help you. It's just not something I want to rely on, because, you know, they can kill it, and then all of a sudden these Collected Companies are really bad. Is Force Sanctum Prelate actually good? Well, we gotta wait and see. Choose a number. Non-creature spells with a mana value equal to the chosen number can't be cast. I think the only problem I have with this deck is because you're not playing with Freebooter, like, it's harder to use stuff like Meddling Mage. Like, Meddling Mage is going to be online by turn 4, because you're going to play Spellbinders. Well, I mean, you might ramp into it with Noble Hierarch, but the point is, like, you'll play a Spellbinder by turn 3, and then you have to play your Reflector Mage. Sorry, your Meddling Mage. Whereas with Kitesail Freebooter, you get to play Kitesail Freebooter turn 2, no matter what, and then Meddling Mage turn 3. So this becomes more of a turn 4 play in this deck. I mean, if you have... maybe I'm being dramatic. You could do it on turn 3 if you have Aether Vial. So there are combos. There are combinations. Auroch Champion, Collector Oof, Damping Sphere, Dismember, Aether Swarm, Canonist, Gadok, Grafdigger's Cage, Skyclave Apparition. Yeah, I think the sideboard is fine. You have a good sideboard. But you can't run Collected Company in your Ancient Ziggurat deck. And you don't have enough green sources, so get more green sources. You could play, you could play the fast lands over the shocks. But you can't search them out. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find some way to not get hosed by Blood Moon. But you don't have to. Like with Bant Colors, there's maybe once you go Bant, it's like you're already being too greedy. So maybe we should go with the fast lands anyway. Oh, there is a problem with Unclaimed Territory. No, there is no problem. Everything's a human. Everything's a human. Who cares? Except Phantasmal Image. Who cares about you? I mean, I think blind naming Meddling Mage isn't too bad, especially against the more linear decks. Some of them, yes. So like against Prowess, you just name one, no big deal. But there's other decks where you need to know what's in their hand first. That's what Spellbinder can do instead of the Kitesail Freebooter. And then when you know what's in their hand, boom! Sanctum Prelate. Boom! Meddling Mage. I know it's in your hand. Now you can't play it anymore. Thank you, Peepoo. A lot of people like my haircut. I don't know why. I mean, it is a good cut. I'm getting a lot of compliments for it, though. Do you have a list for my Blue-White Merfolk? I do. Go check out today's video on Nikachu MTG streams. And with that, I think that's all I can say. 3-color humans trying to use Prelate as a new piece, but it also looks... I don't mind the Prelate. Sure, that's fine. The problem is the collected company. This is garbage. Or I think it's a good idea, but you just need to adjust your mana base for it. Significantly adjust. Oh, you're also at 18 lands. You might want to remove one of these cards. Like even one prelate maybe, so that you have 19 lands. Because every humans deck has a stock 19 lands. 19 lands for Noble Hierarch. And you might want the lands anyway for collected company. I think it's a good idea. All right, with that, that's Coffee and MTG for today. If you want to check out the replay to this, and also the replays to all my Merfolk decks, so if you want to see the latest Blue-White Merfolk list I'm playing, and I like it, I like my build right now, go check out Nikachu MTG streams. Also, if I didn't get your comments, questions, or deck list, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you want to support Coffee and MTG and you're not already, the ways you can do so is dropping a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. You can also become a patron on Patreon, or you can hit the join button on YouTube. Chubby Meatball, come. Come say hi to everybody. Oh, come back. She wants to go back outside now. I think she wants me to chase her or something. She's a very playful cat. And, of course, thank you very much, everyone, showing up today. Because without all of you, there'd be no conversation. We'd have no fun. We wouldn't have anything to talk about here. So, keep brewing up those cups of coffee, and we'll keep brewing up magic. See you guys next time.